Welcome back, dear viewers. I'm Levi from Alliteration Gaming, and I've got the lovely Sam Tate of Ace Maneuvers here, and we are super happy, super overjoyed, and super honored to bring you guys into the ninth and final round of this Pro Hero National Tournament Day 1. We've got a really awesome one in store for you guys today. Sam, you want to tell the lovely folks what we are bringing in?
We're bringing in the known menace, Kirishima 2, which you saw has dominated the pie chart of signups.
That's one way to put it for sure, yes.
But the deck that we were really excited for when we did that character breakdown, but haven't gotten a chance to see yet, Ojiro 2 made a huge splash with the reveals for Heroes Clash, but has gone missing through most of our top tables so far. So here's the Ojiro, who's, I believe, on their winning in, right? We picked a game where
yes.
This should be players playing for their tournament lives here in the final round of the first ever Pro Hero National, and also the largest in-person event that Universes has ever had. So this could be monumental moments for both players.
Yeah, once again, guys, we got 310 players in the house today, but only 32 of them are going to make it to that coveted top cut spot moving into day 2. And these two fine gentlemen playing this round on stream today are both trying to secure that spot there. And I think they're going to be playing their absolute hearts out. But also, man, this is round 9 of this very long tournament. And this is the part where like the real struggles of our game start to set in, right? The fatigue, the brain fog, the exhaustion. I hope these players have been staying hydrated all day, been snacking all day, been carbo loading all day, keeping their minds sharp, because this is going to be one of the most cutthroat matches we've seen. This is their last chance to secure that top cut spot to try and fight for a ticket to Worlds. And so I think we're gonna see some of the most exemplary play we've seen today. I'm just so excited to see Ojiro here, right? Because like I feel like he was, I mean, like you said, right, with the reveals, he was one of the characters that people were really going gaga over. We really prophesized this guy to be like one of the premier aggro decks of the format. Was going to just really dominate the aggression and the control side of that of that bracket. And he's kind of one of the really main prophesized meta staples that hasn't shown up just a ton today, right? Especially in like the top tables. I think him and Ochako 2, I think, are the big ones that people were really expecting to see today, and we've definitely seen them today. They are in like the double digits, right? But they just haven't really been living at the top tables. They've been really coasting right in the middle, trying to fight for their right to get into the top cuts.
Yep, and you're going to see Wesley is on the play here with Earth Kirishima 2 and getting a fairly solid build just because Homage to My Hero is really strong.
Double Homage is a high, man. But
to return the favor, double Student of the Art and a Learning the Standard.
Double Student of the Art is kind of benign, my friend. So actually crazy.
So both players getting like their signature foundations out, right? These are like these characters' most important foundations most of the time.
Oh, going for the region on a 6, checking the 4. Very unfortunate there. But yeah, absolutely. These are some of the most powerful cards that can be in either of these guys' stages. And honestly, Wesley should be pretty frightened. There's a world where Axel puts out a ridiculous amount of damage next turn with double Student of the Arts. But double Student of the Art is going to turn into single Student of the Art very quickly, thanks to what's our favorite card of today, Sam?
Yeah, I was going to mention that the best thing about getting both the Student of the Arts out is one, seizing the advantage doesn't do it.
True.
It doesn't deny us that gas that we really get, right? Let's talk Student of the Art really quick before we jump into this Hardened Frenzy, because Ojiro needs to hit 3 different printed attack zones, and if you want to get that ramp up really quick with your +1/+1s to +2/+2s, Student of the Art is pretty much how you're going to do it. There's pretty much no other way on the Earth symbol to be adding these attacks to our card pool for a beneficial effect, and it's a huge linchpin of that game plan. So only being able to deny one of the two feels really good for both players, right? Because it means that they're only going to have one chance to pop it off on you next turn and not have it for a potential turn 3. But at the same time, you know, we feel good that we still have at least one.
No, we don't. No, we don't, Sam Tate. We certainly do not.
I did that on purpose. I knew he was going to play a second one.
My goodness, man. As strong as double student of the art is, it pales in comparison to the power of double season the advantage. This is absolutely crazy. Wesley getting to be so aggressive here while also expanding his stage and destroying Axel's very powerful stage all at the same time. I mean,
never punished.
Never punished. That's just the power of Kirishima too. So much anti-punishment. We see the petty squabble, the snack time getting built in down there.
Yeah, the first attack put us down to 19. We took 9 damage from that first one, and now we're being threatened by a similarly potent attack with this. I believe that's a Hellflame Stomp, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a Hellflame Stomp with 4 damage on it.
Yeah, we get to
which is messed up.
Yeah, and I think it's about to get. Okay, yeah, no, it's just way too fast. So I was gonna say it might get a little bit bigger because it looks like we're cutting life, but for the speed instead to make sure that this punches through the 4 foundations that Ojiro has ready.
Yeah, I mean now it's now it's a very fast move between seizing the advantage and its own enhance. It's now an 8 low, right? If we have a 1 low, we can't check a 3 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, but that's all we're going to get to blocking. Kirishima's got gas in the tank as long as there's orange in the hand.
Yeah, looks like that's where the breaks stop. Thank goodness for Axel, man.
Another flip, though.
Yeah, another flip, though, is very powerful. It is very, very powerful.
Luckily, we're not playing Ojiro 1, or else we'd be almost out of fuel for our enhance.
Right?
But even still,
yeah, dude, look at this. I mean, as Wesley, we started that turn with 3 foundations, and now we have 7, and they're all ready, and we dealt 9 damage, 8 damage. Like, I mean, this is just insane. Like that level of reach for a character to have is just so powerful, and it's really one of the things that just makes Kirishima so strong is his character card in tandem with the cards he has access to.
Yeah, a little late for these ready get set goes, right? Would have been awesome to have that double turn 1 ready get set go.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
On a season of his own.
They found our way into our own season the advantage. I mean, really, that's what we need right now. We cannot let Wesley continue to operate his aggro turns with double homage to my heroes. It just makes everything way, way, way too big.
Yep.
You know?
And it gives him so much defensive draw power, right? One of the things about Kirishima that we talked about is he gets to draw like additional cards just straight plus if he has nothing in hand with his enhance. Homage also lets him straight plus when he uses his response.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of really, really powerful things going on at once, it's really funny. We saw them both build such frightening stages turn 1, and now slowly using their resources to obliterate the potency of said stages, and of course the Kirishima punch here doing its thing, letting us unflip our foundations, so we're making our way towards getting our resources back as well. This unflipping student of the art is insane.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Harn Barrage all day, and it's gonna nail him for 6, bring Kirishima down to 19 after we paid that life earlier, and now we see the other punch brother. This is the deck for them both, right? We talked about how kind of interesting it was that we didn't see all the different stuff, but now we get to unflip student of the art. We get to add that 3rd zone. We get +1/+1 just from having both of those attacks, and now we get to recur that again, possibly unflip it a 2nd time. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Ojiro for a second, because this guy is I like to compare Ojiro to Jiro a lot.
Yes.
I feel like they're very similar characters, just on different symbols, right? Jiro being so strong with her limitless potential for bonus stats, but not getting to necessarily pick up her attacks and replay them, not having access to those kind of gameplay loops. Ojiro capping out at +3/+3, but being able to loop his attacks, add them in, pick them back up, and then when he starts to see things like a student of the art, his ceiling really, really, really skyrockets, because suddenly you're not just looping your attacks, you are tutoring any attack from a discard pile that you want straight to your hand, which is just absolutely crazy. This is so much reach.
This is the lowest we've gotten a Kirishima to on turn 2 all day.
It is. And then the barrage coming back in to unflip student of the art. It's like student of the Ojiro is strong. Student of the art is what pushes him over the top. To continue with these parallels, it's a lot like Jiro, and then Jiro when she's got momentum for sound waves online.
Or like Jiro with now seizing the advantage, because you get that additional +1/+1 and just for the flip. So it's kind of crazy how much production we've gotten out of relatively no attacks, right?
Absolutely.
We had 2 attacks. We've played 3, and they've all been for like a 1/3 of our life. All of a sudden, we might regret paying that life.
100,000%. Yeah. Also, like, between sending in the barrage on the first move and Wesley not blocking it, told us that he does not have a high block, because we do not want that barrage to deal damage to unflip Student of the Art.
Right. There's no universe where allowing him to unflip Student of the Art is part of our plan.
Absolutely not. So identifying that Wesley has no high block to then use Student of the Art to pick up the barrage and replay it because we know it's going to deal damage again because he can only half block it is crazy. And oh man, it's just getting even crazier. We have another barrage to play. Going to unflip our other Student of the Art. This is getting insane.
We can add another punch or another barrage for even more stats as well.
Yeah, we did just check that rapid punches. Yeah.
If this
we can toss that in.
If this is the wrong block zone, and it is, we're in mortal peril. We have to win on the next turn as Kirishima, right?
Yeah.
Because we've got Student of the Art. We've got all the pump that we need to punch through. The Kirishima response effectively dead right now.
Yeah, absolutely pointless. Yeah, I mean, Barrage is like this. I mean, there's been a lot of ways to play Ojiro, but like this is like what makes Earth Ojiro so strong. Hardened Barrage, unflipping your Student of the Arts is just an absolutely crazy interaction. Imagine if Jiro just had an attack that said, "Oh, when this hits, put specialized sound waves into your hand." That's like the reach we're getting. I think like that's how crazy Ojiro scales from not having that card to having that card. And these
momentum.
Yeah. These punches allowing him to recur those resources creates like a nigh unescapable loop of attack strings.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Wesley had such a great start, has a great resource advantage, but didn't exactly have like the numbers advantage.
No.
And Ojiro has put him in a position to be afraid and be very afraid.
Extremely afraid. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out what to do here because at this point, like,
it's attack and win. Don't let him get that next turn.
No, you really can't. You got to figure out how to put 19 damage onto the face right here and right now
through learning the standards. Right. So if we have that seizing the advantage, we would have ripped it off to potentially flip that 100%, anyway.
Yeah.
And so now, with learning the standards, we can face tank like the weakest attack that we see coming, and force Kirishima to not only lose a potential block for next turn if we want to push for game, but also have to fight through a little extra difficulty, which normally hasn't been an issue for Kirishima.
Yeah.
But when it's all on the line, every resource matters.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, resource-wise, right, looking at Axel's board, we get to stun 2 with our back alley Haymaker, which is going to be mega value, right? Because it's going to stun the Student of the Art.
I think you might not call it because of the Akampi fix, but I'm with you. You're still +1 to stun, right?
Yeah. I'm still doing it because it means you're going to get to stun either the high value or the learning the standards, which is massive.
Right.
Which is massive. Absolutely massive.
Yep, and we're going to build a learning of our own, which is effectively blank because we cannot take an unblocked attack because Ojiro puts massive numbers on his attack.
Massive freaking numbers on it. This makes more sense, though, as to why we didn't stun, because we're not going to attack after this. We don't want to give him more resources to swing back into us.
Absolutely,
so
but we do get some flip protection from Chivalrous, and it's a potential next card draw in an absolute dire straight situation. But
at this point, though, the really, really cool foundations in our stage don't have a whole lot of text because we cannot take unblocked attacks anymore.
Yeah,
right?
This is what you get for playing all those cards that say unblocked attack on them.
Yep.
Block like a normal person, Kirishima. Play the game like everyone else has to.
Yeah, we can't face tank. When we can't face tank attacks, defensively speaking, our homage to our hero and our learning the standards do not have text. And as long as Ojiro doesn't stun us, our Akampi fixes I have text. Our internship with Best Genius already doesn't have text. Our stage as Wesley is like very blank right now.
This is a big one.
Yeah, Chop's a huge card here. Chop's a massive card here.
This is the attack that we always say is free damage because you can't afford to block it. Yep. Wesley can't afford to take it unless it gets 0 pump.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler, it's about to get +2/+2.
Yep. Because Student of the Art is, what a card. What a card Student of the Art is, man.
Yeah, it's really interesting that the difference between giving an attack +1/+1 and then giving it +2/+2 can matter so much, especially early on. Like, we see it with Summon Dark Shadow all the time. Just tacking on 1 speed to attacks makes the math so difficult when you don't have any blocking aids. Yeah. And Kirishima has a lot of foundations, but no blocking aids.
Yeah. No, that's what's going to make this so hard. Is especially when you're so low on health, it's really going to come down to the zones. It's really going to come down to him having the right zones here. I mean, he's got his whole stage is ready.
I was going to say
that is our only way we can take Hardened Chop.
This is the only time we get to respond with Kirishima and learning the standards. It did not quite get to the 7 damage, and so we can go exactly to 1, keep all of our blocks, but we don't get Kirishima enhanced to refund those foundations.
Nope. Oh, seizing the advantage. Could be huge here. Speed could be huge here. Back alley on a 7.
Ooh, there's some bad checks. Kirishima might survive this turn because of that bad check right there.
He might.
We got a little greedy with the seasoning, I think, honestly.
Well, he had to, right? Learning the standards.
Oh, true.
That was the perfect card to have there. I think he had it the whole time, and he was saving it for learning the standards.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. But you could just flip the learning the first. Well, the chivalrous goes down, I guess.
Yeah. No. The chivalrous was going to protect it. This was his out. Actually, extremely lucky to have found seizing the advantage there to play around that learning the standards. And we're just going to present game on the stack because it's just way too big. It's way too big. And we just don't have the block zones to stack up against everything.
Was it a back alley haymaker?
It was.
It was happening really. Yeah, he just dumped the momentum and said, "Look, man, if you're playing plus ultra and you're set 2 character, good for you.
Yeah,
but
more power
this
to
is
you.
10 speed.
Yeah. I mean, man, just the aggressive power of Ojiro, right? As an aggressive 6 hand size character, with way more reach than those numbers present, right? Because I mean, when we have Student of the Art, oh my goodness, your 7th card that you get from your pickup once per turn is conditionless, and it's whatever you want. So you actually get to be a 7 hand size aggro character where your 7th card is any attack you want. That is the power of Student of the Art, and finding those Student of the Arts so fast, so quickly, and then even through getting them all seizing the advantage flipped, being able to recur them through things like the Hardened Barrages. I mean, those were the lines that won us that game as Axel.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I was actually doing the math wrong, I'll admit. I forgot Kirishima rounds down, right? So we actually
easy to forget.
We did get to actually pop off all of our unblocked responses exactly one time, and it did us 0 favors.
Simply did not matter.
What mattered the most was the fact that we actually ate 3 attacks, gave 3 momentum to Ojiro, and back alley managed to close it out with that EX keyword.
Yeah, I think there is an absolute 0 chance that Wesley goes into Axel's first attack turn without a high block now. we have understood our mistakes from letting this man unflip Student of the Art.
He had a great board lead. He had a good health lead. It got a good chunk in turn 1, and everything was great. Until we had the Punch Brothers set up. That unflip a foundation.
That unflip, man.
The most important ability that was played in that game, 1000%.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I know I've seen probably the most hype for Ojiro 2 on water. Like, he's got very, very good builds there. He's got very good attacks of all zones to build. A lot of good water defense. But, man, it is hard to pass up the unflipping you get from the Earth symbol as a whole, right? Because, I mean, we can also play things like Glamorous. We can also play things like Naval Laser Beam. I mean, can you imagine trading a momentum and unflipping 2 Student of the Arts?
Yeah.
Insane. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about how seizing the advantage is meta defining, what if you just play cards that unflip it?
Yeah, it's very possible. We see a lot of cards like that start to find their way back into the format. Naval Lasers for the added utility of unflipping on top of Breaker 2. Things like Glamorous, especially with all of the speed hate in the format right now, too. A lot of things like that could find their way back in.
And here it is.
There's our old reliable. The spinning kick.
Hold on now.
Hey, you took his card.
That's an Ojiro attack.
You took his card.
That's also another kick we've seen from Kirishima decks, which are traditionally completely punches plus maybe Hardened Frenzy, but now we've got a spinning kick that, if I'm not mistaken, it allows us to unflip a foundation.
It does.
Potentially, if we play a mid attack, right? You get to
draw a card.
You get to draw a card.
You draw for a mid attack, you unflip for a low.
Yep, and then a low attack gets to unflip something. So both players running out the earth attacks that get to unflip things and kind of fight back against the seizing the advantage.
Yeah.
I'm loving this interaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're having a tug of war, right? Each of them trying to seize that advantage, fighting for that resource control. I mean, obviously, it's two Earth decks, one up against the other. There's going to be a plethora of resource control involved.
How often do you think Wesley plays this with the intention to unflip a foundation? Because this one, it has to be committed, right? That's an unflip one committed.
Correct.
Instead of drawing a card. Because now we're going to draw 2 cards off back alley, potentially.
True.
Or
although I hope we have a 0
build.
to build, because our stage is looking not too hot right now. But a back alley rebuild and a Kirishima reset can fix that up quite nicely if we have it.
Yeah, over the course of the, this enhanced step, we got the 0 diff, which we love.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to get the Kirishima enhance. And then we have 2 more on the rivals turn. We actually get to replace all of our committed foundations if we really needed
this is
to.
The power of Kirishima 2 for you, man. Like you said, right? Never punished. Also interesting to note, a lot of the tech here, we're seeing that prehensile tail once more. Again, probably a lot of tech for the deadlock pressure that the Earth symbol is so famous for lacking.
One thing that's super interesting to me, he chose to blow up the seizing the advantage, which means if we have a hardened jab in a later turn, or I guess even on a 6, never punished, right?
Never punished.
We don't get to just scoop it back up unless that other face down is, somehow becomes a seizing the advantage.
That's very true. Maybe something down there is just something we want to hang on to, right? Maybe it's an attack we very, very much value, right?
And there is potential that we don't have a jab in this game too, right? It's for sure. It would be crazy to me not to run it with seizing the advantage, and it's a +1 high block.
Super duper nuts.
However, there is potential with, things like spinning kick. Players get so much freedom of expression in this game.
Oh, yeah.
You get to pick the effects that you really like the most of the time and just build sort of around it, right? There's no really hard and fast archetypes where you have to play a set deck list or even, majority deck list.
Absolutely. You can always tell the really dedicated players and brewers in this game when you ask them about their deck, and then they just don't stop talking for an hour. And that's one of my favorite things about this game, because I am that person. Me and my 40-minute deck profiles, absolutely that.
When I started live streaming the pitch a deck for Nats thing, I expected people to stumble through like 5 to 10 minutes and be like, yeah, it's a Tokoyami deck. It does Tokoyami things. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. Every single person has gone card for card, had multiple reasons why it's in there, multiple uses for it. They love to talk about all the different interactions and all the things that are different about their deck from other people's decks. And I've been surprised at every tournament, I'll be honest.
Absolutely. There's always something crazy going on, especially a lot of the rogue decks. Because they're just so they've been messed with and experimented with so much less than a lot of the other decks, that there's so much to be discovered. There's so much to be discovered that we're not aware of. And again, even in these very quote unquote solved meta decks like Kirishima 2, we're still seeing innovation, especially with a whole new set of cards.
And potentially, right, how much experience does one have playing against these rogue decks, against these off-meta decks, or even a deck like Ojiro, where I don't think I've ever seen 2 lists that are half the same, honestly, even on the same symbol, maybe Earth, maybe. Yeah. But, they're actually so different. How often do you get to practice against it, right? How much experience has Wesley had? Because I feel like if he had more experience, he probably would have held that high block.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I could spend 2 or 3 games playing against this deck, and the immediate thing that I take away from the experience is always have that freaking high block, because oh god, you can never let barrage hit. You can just never let barrage hit, man.
Never unflips.
No,
please,
you
never
cannot let them unflip, man. It's just too strong.
Speaking of another really powerful unflip, Prehensile Tail is back.
Yeah, there it is. The Prehensile Tail making its way back in here. Combined with those Prehensile Tail, I mean, we actually have every piece of deadlock pressure in our entire deck on our stage right now as Wesley. So if he can force a really late game scenario here, he could be in a very advantageous position.
Yeah, again, that was a card that I thought was that I really slept on until I saw it in practice. And if your deck is built to beat other Kirishimas, you probably have deadlock threats in your main board.
You have to have them, yeah. So we're going for a build turn. Yeah, it looks like we're possibly trying to force that game state that I was just talking about there. If we can force Axel into deadlock, or at least pressure him to go into there, or play on less than 11 foundations, again, either way puts us in a very advantageous spot.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think one of the secret tricks against Ojiro is people tend to hold all 3 zones because they know the deck plays all 3 zones. It's not like a zone overload like the all lows, water, things like that. However, realistically, Ojiro's only playing 2 attack zones at you during a turn.
Right.
Realistically, if he has Student of the Art down at least, he is going to add one of those zones and replay one of the zones that he played.
Yep.
So you need to actually have the soul read or tons of draw potential.
Uh-huh. Yep, you've got to have some kind of out. So here's the rapid punches coming in. Again, this is another one that we just really don't want to let hit because we don't want to let Axel draw cards for free.
Everything he does something on hit, right?
Yeah.
Or just draws a card for being played. There's so much advantage being gained from these attacks.
There's no easy way out to any of these attacks, right? We have to block these or else he accrues massive advantage. We have to take chop or else we lose 2 cards. It's very much a recurring theme in a deck like this. Puts us in a lot of uncomfortable ultimatums, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting, right? We've got learning the standards down, but even if we pop that off, for an extended turn, Ojiro has the forcing surrender as an answer to that card pool clogging, and even last time we just saw seizing the advantage, which actions like that are one of the best ways to play around learning the standard. So we could have that in our back pocket. We do see a mid attack get added to the card pool. What are the odds that the next attack is a Hardened Barrage?
Oh, man. I sure hope Wesley's got that high block this time around.
We do have the low.
He's got that, yeah. He's also got a male bonding in hand, so we do have a second low. What is our last card, though, in our hand?
How terrifying would it be if it was just a mid block?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'd be petrified. Did we build a mid block last turn? We built learning the standards, right?
Yeah, we built we built some low blocks and some mid blocks.
I sure hope we've got a high block chilling in our hand, man.
Yeah, interesting that it looks like we're keeping Prehensile Tail ready. We do get to add a momentum to our hand on our turn, right?
If we can find our way into one more face down foundation.
Nope, we decided to commit those at the end, and I think that's the right choice looking at what's left.
Yeah, for sure. Those are not going to be the cards that save us here. Yeah, those are not going to be the cards. So there's a Texas.
It is a high, but it's not a barrage.
It's not a barrage, but we still have to block it. I mean, I think we have to. I don't want to take 7 damage for free. I suppose we could always be Kirishima, right, and take 3.
Hold on. We did not commit our face down because it's a Student of the Art. That means we still have to have a barrage, right? Why else would we be committing? Well, I guess he did commit some. I saw him go for the forcing surrender at first, but even still, a little weird not to commit the face down, which tells me we either need to destroy something to ready someone with style, or there's still a potential to unflip it. I don't think it's coming this turn, because I think you would have run that out first.
Yeah.
But the potential is still there.
Okay, we've got a hardened jab in hand, and we just drew and it can't be fixed, so we've got double high block now.
Okay.
Oh, +4 to the next coming in hot. So I think we might still have the barrage. That might just be why we played Texas right here.
Right.
Do we have a hardened uppercut in hand?
Ooh, it's tough to see. I wish we had hand cams so bad.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think the committal not on the face down was mostly to
just preserve that Student of the Art in case we ever find unflip. Yeah,
because we needed to summon with style right now.
Yep.
But we're gonna be able to add a card to our hand if we really, really want to. If we really want to replay rapid punches, but. I'm kind of hype if we play another attack and then pick up Texas again.
That would be crazy. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're just gonna go ahead and pick up the rapid punches right now.
That's the real play.
I agree. Yeah. I think
you got to get rid of that difficulty immediately.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna come in. It's gonna come in with what? +3/+3.
And then another 4 damage.
And then another speed because of itself in the card pool.
Right.
We're just going for the build.
Okay, all right.
Going for the build, it looks like.
This is similar to an Ochako play. We've chunked our opponent down to 15 health.
Right.
And
in a position that's very vulnerable now. Oh, wait.
Oh, learning the standards. He popped learning the standards.
We did pop learning the standards. And so we're just going for that on a 6. Yeah, I mean, even if Protect's bad here, there's not much risk, to be honest.
Yeah, and we've kind of... we've already sort of telegraphed we don't have that low, I think.
For sure, yeah.
Or maybe not telegraphed it, but like the odds after all this blocking and all these foundations, it's looking pretty bad for Wesley at this point.
Yeah, I mean, even if we do have it, right, it's not an easy block, man.
Got to rip it right here. Does he have the Jose Narono magic?
I think we just drew a
that's it.
hardened uppercut.
I think he just drew. Yeah, I think he just drew.
I think we have double high block in our hand now.
Yeah.
And this is what
he just drew the best high block during the low attack.
Yep. I think this is an 11 damage move. So
Yeah.
we will take 5 after Kirishima response.
Yep. But we're still in the red zone a little bit.
Yeah, we get to draw a card because our rapid punches knocked him out, knocked his teeth open.
This could still be the turn if we check rolling 5s, but with 3 cards for progressive Oh, we didn't forcing surrender that foundation out either.
Yeah, very interesting. So it looks like it says we're done.
Yeah, I don't think I think he ripped an attack off the draw and didn't know he had lethal, so he didn't want to cast away his own foundation.
Maybe so. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yep. So you gotta feel okay, especially with that after that 3, and we mill another 3. Love this.
Yeah,
we love this. Kirishima being at 10 health, he's not exactly like as in danger as he was if we had continued on this turn where he's committed out and everything. So it might still be tough to close this game out, but if you can just block a little bit, Axel is still in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I mean, Axel's got 22 health to sit on. He's got a force and surrender to clear his own blocks. He's got a learning the standards. Somewhat style can ready itself if need be. He's really in a good position, all things considered. I think, Wesley has a very large stage. If he just finds like 6 attacks and can jam them all, there's a world where we could maybe get there. But I think this is probably more than likely going to be another tempo turn for him. The chop is a good place to start, though.
That one, not so much, but that's not the biggest deal.
No, that's super okay. That's super okay. Chop's going to reset one of those, and Kirishima will reset the other. We're chilling. We're chilling with that 3 check. Much better now than later. Much better now than later.
And this is the kind of thing where the game is so swingy. It can be so volatile, so explosive. There is a very real chance that Wesley just presents 40 damage and says, there's no way you can hang with all of this. We've got snack time down, so if we want to start spending our hand, if we know we got it, this could be really tough. However, Ojiro does have learning the standards and does have forcing surrender, so if we're blocking with non-attacks, it's going to be pretty tough without any actual speed hate. We're going to need to dump our hand.
Yeah, if Wesley's not hanging on to a season the advantage right now, that learning the standards is going to put in an immense amount of work.
Yeah, and man, I feel like you would need to be snack timing right to really punch through on this turn, but
and we don't have the season the advantage, unfortunately.
Yeah, both players playing the Bakugo zero diff there.
Yeah, the best Genius haircut foundation.
Yeah, both
unfortunately, Axel got to play it first, so he has the blank one to flip, right?
Yeah, both players really put in the pressure on their rival's stage, and this is a pretty good one. That's not a great check, but
that's also fine. We're going to reset 2 of those. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, when Kirishima checks 3s, he's really not.
Yeah, he's not really pressed about it, to be honest. We also have pull no punches to crack for a momentum play here with the hardened chop.
And
there it goes. Yeah, right away, going right into it.
This could be it. This could be a turn where
if we have a big ol' hardened uppercut, it could get scary here.
And we almost certainly have, he flips them all over. We have another, I was going to say we almost certainly have an attack down there.
Yeah.
Or at the very worst, a seizing the advantage, but it looks like we had a chop face down.
It did look like we had a chop in there for sure. Chop pickup could be super massive here. Again, any attack that is just going to reset committed foundations is very good for us right now. Because we just need to be able to play a lot of cards right now. We need to increase the quantity of our attacks played.
Metagame wise, resource wise, you'd want to fire off that Kirishima 2 enhance, but is it the one you want to put the 2 damage on with the ability? I don't think it is. If we want to actually string together a potential kill turn, this is our most easily blocked attack, but it looks like it's going to go through anyway.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're in the position now as Axel where we have very cool attack cards in our hand.
Yeah, it's very greedy.
and I don't think we're blocking anything until it's going to kill us.
That's normally the play, but if he did pick up that hardened chop, it could spell disaster for him.
Totally could. I mean, the chop is still like an attack we can technically take. Worst case scenario. I don't think he's able to get it to 8 damage. I think we can.
And if he doesn't have a mid block,
if we Kirishima on it because of homage, we can get it to 8 damage actually.
Yeah, and if we don't have the mid block, it feels terrible to partial block there.
Yeah, I don't want to partial that jab at all.
Yeah,
I don't want to partial that jab at all.
Actually, dealing 10 damage to Kirishima is still pretty rough, so I don't blame him for clutching those attacks.
Oh yeah, and the very big 5 check coming in right here. Finally, right for Wesley. And I mean, yeah, between the second Kirishima enhance and the homage to my hero, this is going to reach 8 damage, so we do have to stop this. As far as the things that Axel is working with in his hand, it looks like he's got a karate chop and a hardened barrage. I believe the karate chop is a 1 high block, and then I think the hardened barrage is a mid block. So maybe we should have blocked that jab.
If he's got the mid, I feel like you got to put it on it.
Yeah.
Now it's getting pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, we have to half block this and then go to none in hand, right?
Yeah.
We have to half block this and go to none in hand. So if Wesley simply can play another attack here, it's going to be able to finish Axel off as long as it's 4 damage, which every move in this deck is.
Yeah, the partial is really going to punish him here.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think we've disrespected Wesley's aggro too hard here, I think, by just face tanking all of these attacks while we're sitting there with the right zones and without one zone.
And you know that he's gone through so many cards. You know he's seen so many cards.
There's the half. We lose our karate chop. We take our 4, and now show me another move. Yeah, there it is.
You can't fail it, right?
Can't fail it on a 7.
It would have to be like a 6 difficulty on a 9, and we still could pass it on a 5.
We can't fail this. This is on a 7.
Yep.
Very unfortunate for the low attacks to come out so hard here. Yeah, just a little bit too much greed on Axel right there, right? Because in a world, well, actually, I think we perish either way, right? Because he played double low attack, right?
Right.
So we would perish either way because then we block the chop and we don't take 5, and then we take that 13 anyway from.
Right. If you block the jab, you still lose to the 2 lows with your high block in hand.
Because the chop is for 8, and then the stomp is for 6 when we lose 2 health and give it 2 damage. Yep. It would have been just enough there at the end, just enough there with the stomp's own enhance to count to 13 if we'd have blocked the jab. Definitely would have put more pressure on Wesley though. Would have forced his line to be a lot tighter.
And the +1 from homage doing work every turn.
True. Yeah. It's getting there as well.
That little +1, it seems so innocuous, but as long as it's repeatable,
it's not inconsequential in the slightest. A +1 to every move for the whole turn goes a long way. I mean, that's why we have to put respect on the backs of cards like Prone to Dry Eyes, right?
What a great matchup for our final round. It's quick, it's punchy, quite literally with the attack lineup.
This is a slugfest, man. This is just an all-out brawl right now.
Yeah, he said, put your dukes up, show me what you got. And so far, they both love it. The
fist bump.
The bro fist, you gotta love that.
I mean, there's some male bonding going on in this match.
Yes.
There's going to be some male bonding occurring throughout this round for sure.
Until someone loses, and they're going to be upset. And they're never going to talk to the other person again.
Yep. So it looks like Axel does not like his first hand. We're opting to take the second one. Obviously, Axel being able to be on the play here going first is really massive. I think I just saw a student of the art in that hand.
Immediate. He looks like he goes, I got it.
Yeah. I'll build one pass. I'll build one pass. Student of the art, ship it. Lock it up. Lock it up.
And notably, with the changes to the mulligan rule that recently came out, he has to keep it because he has a playable foundation.
Yeah, simply no other choice for Axel there. But I don't think that we're mad with this hand in the slightest.
Yeah, at the very worst, you get to build one foundation, review, and then get another chance.
It looks like we've got a couple zeros in hand, so we have some very safe builds here as well.
That's a good one.
I also think that we've got a season the advantage already chilling in our hand.
This is a fine build.
Yeah,
it's not
a fantastic build. That's a fantastic build. Your back alleys have a little less text on them now. You cannot stun 2, my friend. You cannot do it. You simply You simply aren't allowed to.
And no ready, get, set, go punish.
Immediately reviews his back alley haymaker. He said, yep, this card stinks now.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much ready, get, set, go punishment for this tournament.
We have not, no.
A lot of these decks have just decided seizing
Very scary on that 4 there. If we take a 3 there, now that's super scary. Like we have to pass it because we can't go into his turn with, we must just only have 2s.
Yeah,
very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, man.
They're all real good cards, though.
They're real good cards for sure. Learning the standards might be our almighty equalizer here, unless Axel has that the advantage, right?
Yeah. So
seize the advantage. Sorry.
Wesley has some really strong defensive pieces, but notably they remove themselves. They destroy themselves. They leave. Actually, all of his foundations right now leave.
We do not have a sustainable stage right now, which is very, very unfortunate.
Like, realistically, you're probably going to end up committing these cards and blowing them up with Kirishima if you have to, rather than activating their effects. Although learning the standards could be massive here. Yeah,
and it's just it's unfortunate, right, that we're going to have these cards that we probably won't get a whole lot of value of. These cards that have such powerful effects, which is why they're 2 difficulty foundations, and we're just not going to get that value out of them. Oh my God, the Student of the Art already coming in. I mean, you got to use it on the first one, right? You got to use it on the first one.
Another mid comes in, which means we probably have another high attack.
Yeah, opting to bring in the karate chop. Yeah, we must have the high attack then. Otherwise, we just bring in the other rapid punches and we just make this thing insanely fast.
And so this is my mentality as an Ojiro player. If I'm building Ojiro 2, I want to always add the mid. I never want to play them.
You don't want to swing mid into your opponent.
Right.
Through that.
That's where all the really good breaker 2s are. That's where all the crazy uppercuts are. And again, people will hold all 3 zones against you. Play the off zones. Recycle the off zones. Add the mid.
Oh, and it's a Texas smash.
I'm having deja vu, partner.
Yeah, this is spooky here. This is very, very spooky. This is gonna have
that 3 check might have saved his life.
It might have, yeah.
That might have saved Kirishima's tournament run.
I mean, this is going to be a big Texas smash, man. This is going to be a big Texas smash. If we have another move to +4 to the next, oh my goodness, we're just going to put Wesley so behind. We're going to get to pick up our rapid punches because we've pretty much determined our opponent probably is not packing a low block.
So far, he hasn't really had the high either.
Yeah, and now we get to discard a card, put 4 damage onto the next one because we know it's going to deal damage. He does not have the low. We got the high though. The karate chop coming in clutch here.
I was going to say
beautiful 5 check. We were not allowed to check a 3 there.
Yeah.
We were not allowed. In fact, we weren't really allowed to check a 4 there either because then we lose our Kirishima. We really need that guy. So this comes in. Oh, the beautiful 5 check on a 5. Beautifully checks a 5. Comes in with a 4 damage. It's going to get +4 speed and +3 more damage. This is going to be a 7 low. Oh my goodness, man.
This is the most damage I've seen dealt to a Kirishima in a single turn all tournament.
Yeah, these stats are crazy. I mean, Ojiro, too, is a beast, man. This guy is a stats monster.
Yeah, did you see the meme on Facebook where the tornado's coming with the +3, +3? Here it comes.
That +3 gets out of hand so fast.
Yeah. Again, it seems weird because you're like, oh, +1/+1 on your first one. That's neat. +2/+2. It's not that. It's +2/+2, like minimum 90% of the time because of that Student of the Art.
And some really, really nice checks come in from Wesley's, from Axel's end here for us to be able to build in some really nice new foundations between 2 somewhat styles, each representing possibly 2 foundations to commit if we want to start blowing up our stage, and high value representing 2 foundations to commit as well. We've got a lot of defensive capabilities right now.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me that like Ojiro doesn't ever seem like he's really packing a lot of defense most of the time, and then all of a sudden, bam, You're So Obvious comes out, boom, double someone with style. You're not gonna get to stun me out.
And the high value targets, man, that can't be fixed. Yeah, you can't stun me ever, all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, Ojiro is not a defensive character, but the Earth symbol defends.
We went from having like the most aggressive foundation base of all time to jumping ahead and building probably all of our really good defensive pieces. You know, we're only missing like a learning the standards now.
Sure, yeah, which is like a card of very questionable quality in this matchup anyway, because it gets like completely negated by seizing the advantage.
Right, we've seen it get flipped by seizing. We see them just play this seizing as the second card.
I'm genuinely surprised these players either sided in the card or had it in main and didn't side it out for this matchup, because that card feels really bad running into seizing the advantage. I mean, that's why we saw Axel take that game, right?
And Ojiro has been playing forcing surrender main board, which is one of the better ways to kind of compensate. You still have to pass the first check, but then you get to flip and clear it. So it's not the all turn pain that you have to keep dealing with.
Yep.
So
we see a very, very inconsequential turn from Wesley, man. A measly poke, a decent build for. We have relevant text on our stage now, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I still think learning is one of the best chances that you have.
Okay.
But it's really going to come down to how much you can block before you pop it. And so far, Wesley has not done a great job.
No, and I hope we've learned our lesson right
here. He's reading it.
He's reading it. He didn't hold the high block.
He's saying, wait a minute.
He didn't hold the high block.
Oh, no. He said, wait a minute. He said, if it's not blocked or if it deals. Oh, if it's deals? Oh, no.
Crud.
Would you, if you don't have the high block, would you actually pop a ready foundation with Kirishima to try and draw it?
I think I have to. Oh,
we got it.
We got it.
Yeah.
Bless up.
All right.
Now.
And no student of the art down, so this isn't going to be the craziest turn of all time.
The big issue is if we can hard play the other two zones, it's going to get scary.
Yeah, if he just says, "No, I got it," that's going to be.
Yeah, if he's got it, man. I mean, they're going to get big, right? Like these things are going to get real big, real fast. I think Ojiro 2 is really the scariest when he starts catching you with the wrong zones, right? Because it's just, it's just so much damage on everything. Oh, the karate chop going to be big here for some committal, man.
Karate chop really cool because it doesn't stun, so resistance can't negate it. You still get to use it. Can't be fixed response, but guess what, Wesley?
We ain't got those as Wesley here. So it's going to be a beautiful stun 2 that Wesley cannot cancel, and then we just make this thing a high, right?
Oh, he gets to change the zone.
Yep, we get to our Ojiro Enhance. Change the zone of this attack.
That's the spinning kick. This is Ojiro Enhance. Your rival flips one.
Oh, yeah.
Which is still
pretty inconsequential right now. We just flip internship with best genius. Yeah.
Yeah, we happen to have our little 0 diff for it, but
yeah, I mean we do have a hardened chop enhance. So we have the mid block for this right here.
It looks like we're thinking about
it's fast. Our block would be on a 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't check a 3.
Yeah.
And if we check a 5, we have to commit Kirishima. Do we? Maybe you're so obvious here.
So if we can block this one, if we give -2 with resistance, and we can still manage to block this, which I don't know if we can.
We can't. No, unless we can check a 6.
Yeah.
And then we have to commit Kirishima. So I don't think we do that. Or I don't think we've used Kirishima yet. So we haven't used Kirishima to reset a foundation, but we have our mid block already in hand, so we don't want to do that.
Right.
So it looks like we might just be opting to take this one since we used the resistance.
Yeah, and then you got
actually probably looking to take everything from here on out and hold on to our hardened chop.
Yeah, I'm thinking you have to pop the learning the standards now.
Yeah.
Because the potential threat of him having the third zone and getting to pick up before you pop it and force him to play a non-attack
and there
is too rough.
There it is.
And if he has seizing and checks a 5, it's going to feel really bad.
Oh, it's going to feel so bad. It's going to feel so bad.
We only have You're So Obvious and Kirishima left.
Although I think if we had seizing, we would have just played it first and flipped it, right? There's no chivalrous on board.
Right. So here's on a 3.
Oh, there's our seizing.
Yeah.
Rip. There's our seizing.
And potentially if Ojiro has no more attacks at all, this was still a pretty
have an
productive
attack,
turn.
I think. I'm pretty sure I see an attack.
Yeah.
I can't tell what. Oh, we have Texas Smash, I think. But we can't combo now. Oh, nope. It's another karate chop.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
We do have Kirishima at 10 life here versus Ojiro at 23. Yeah. So the window for You're So Obvious and Kirishima response is dwindling just like that game 1.
Mm-hmm. It's actually gone because we're going to immediately commit down that You're So Obvious. And now we just have to count to 10 through a half damage rounded down, right? So however we can do that.
And we don't have +3/+3. We don't have the Ojiro once.
We don't have our pickup. No, we don't have our pickup, man. Holding the high block being super duper relevant here.
It's not
to stop that student of the art unflip.
It's not the worst line of all time. However, if he pulls off the Kirishima response here, Texas Smash, does it get there? We're going to take, 1 from this? Or no, it's going to get bonuses, right?
Yeah, it's going to get +2/+2.
Yeah, so we can bring it back to printed after the resistance -2.
Yep.
Kirishima respond to take 2, and then we're at 8. Texas Smash deals 9 in this board.
I believe so.
Or 10, yeah.
We have someone with styled, destroying to one, a ready one. I also think that we still need to discard Arrival Momentum as well for the Karate Chop Enhance. I don't think we've done that.
Oh, correct. Yeah, we haven't been doing that.
Which tells me I think that Axel might just already have death in his
Texas
hand.
Smash wins this. I'm 90%. Oh wait, did we take that without block? Oh, we did not Kirishima. Okay.
Yeah, we just took the 4. That makes sense.
I'm here for it. Yeah, that is the correct play in this instance.
Yeah, because Axel cannot play a 12 damage move, right? There's just no way.
If
Texas
we
gets
pop
to
here so
9.
obvious to make it 5 damage, then combo it to 9, and then Ojiro to make it 11, it still rounds down. We still actually have to hit 12. Oh wait, would that be the 3rd zone? It would be.
No, Texas is a high.
And barrage is. I always think barrage is a low. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, it's easy to remember because Kirishima is red. The Kirishima one is a high attack. Sato is yellow. The Sato one is the low attack.
I'm never gonna remember that.
Bro, it's so easy. It's paint by colors, man. This is kindergarten, Sam Tate. This is kindergarten.
I forget that the zones are color coded. Actually,
Are you colorblind?
no. I just learned the game when they weren't color coded.
Man, you need to learn the standards, my friend. You need to learn the standards, buddy.
Well, when I learned it during standard, they weren't color coded.
Okay, all right. I'm done with this guy. Tam? All right, so Wesley.
You know who else is done? Probably Axel if Wesley draws.
Quite possibly, quite possibly, man. Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, Axel's gonna honestly. I mean, what do we got? We got, what, 2 cards in hand as Axel here. We're going to build down this other high-value target. I think as Axel, we're just doing the math right now, double, triple checking that this can only get to 11, being very sad about it. But you know what? We're going to go into Wesley's turn with six ready foundations, 2 high values, two high values, and 2 somewhat styles. So, like, kind of 10 ready foundations, depends on how we can string our blocks. We've got a stat reset. We've got 2 cards in hand. We have Texas Smash for a 1 mid. We've got Force and Surrender for a low block as well. We're not in the worst position in the world. Also, we've got 23 health.
Yeah, I think what we're exposing in this game, though, is the Earth symbol has no speed hate. If you are pumping speed onto all of your attacks, they have to be blowing huge resources to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's always been the almighty equalizer of the Earth symbol, right? Is that they really can't reduce your speed. High-value target is the closest thing they have to something like that, right? Because defensively, it is 2 foundations, right? Earth does have a lot of stun hate, though. One of those is about to go bye-bye, though.
We're going to take this advantage, and we're going to take it to the bank. I'm calling it right now. Wesley wins on this turn.
On this turn.
He's winning right now.
It is within the realm of possibility. Even if we don't have the moves now to win this turn, we're going to go through a lot of cards with our Kirishima guy.
Yeah, this is going to be potentially incredibly fast.
Yeah, we're not allowed to block this.
Yeah, and again, like, the closest thing we have to speed hit on our board now that You're So Obvious has been flipped is high value target. And I guess if he's dumb enough to stun into double someone with style, that's about it.
Yeah, for sure. Which I don't think we're going to see Wesley perform.
That would be the greatest misplay of all time.
It'd be crazy. Yeah, so it looks like this is just going to come in and deal any amount of damage that isn't lethal, because no world we block this. No world where we block this and allow Wesley to go and find more moves.
Yeah, it is.
This is going to chunk him for 7 damage altogether between the Kirishima Enhance and the Homage to My Hero +1. 7 damage to the chin. Now let's see what else Wesley can put out. It's like he's hiding his hand from us, man. He doesn't want us to know. He needs us to stay in suspense.
He needs the drama. It's the final round.
It is the final round.
It's the final game. It is the final count. Well, that's copyrighted, but it is.
It is the double winning in.
Yes.
It is the double winning in.
This is your moment, Wesley. The brass ring is in front of you. It is up to you to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, the advantage is there.
He didn't have it.
We didn't have it.
He didn't actually have it.
This is going to start a huge drama. This is going to start a huge drama.
Look, man, as a commentator, I took a risk. You know, I put myself out there. I can admit when I was wrong. We do get a momentum, but
at what cost, man?
Yeah.
We didn't win the game. We didn't win the game that turn, and now things are very scary.
And we only put our rival down to 16 health.
Yeah, so like even if Axel bricks this turn and doesn't close it out, he's still going to be in an okay position like he was last turn.
Yeah, and he's got, again, not like real speed hate, but he has some of his best defensive pieces. So you're not really under
Back
as
alley,
much pressure.
a real good start to this turn.
Yeah, what's the stun hate that we have? We don't have resistance.
We don't got the stun hate.
We don't
right
have it.
now,
Can't
my
be
friend.
fixed.
We don't have it.
We
And you know
don't
what? We
have
do have
anything.
1,000 momentum. This is going to be a very fast back alley haymaker.
Oh, that too.
And it's what, a 5 damage move +1/+1 from Ojiro. It'll be lethal.
If
We have to Kirishima this one.
as big of an advantage, like resource-wise, as Kirishima has, wouldn't he love to have Axel stage right now?
Oh, totally, man. I'd love to negate, to just remove the stun text on all my rivals' cards right now. That would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, Chivalrous does get flip protection, and You're So Obvious is like the card that Axel lost to the flip last turn. However, in this moment right now, I need to start blocking, and I need to start blocking early.
So the big issue with this attack right now is if we EX it like crazy, Wes has got two options, right? He can You're So Obvious to either return it to printed speed and block it, or return it to printed damage, and then
I'm gonna make the call. I'm gonna make the call. We don't EX this one. We have a Texas Smash, right? If we can hit the third zone and we can Texas Smash into the Haymaker, dump it then.
Ooh, that'd be powerful.
We almost certainly can force a You're So Obvious early if we get enough speed going, and that'd be the only way he could survive is with a reset.
We opt to half block this.
You have to start blocking. You
I mean,
cannot
yeah, for sure.
just respond Kirishima here, unless he chooses to fail. He's going to choose to fail.
So the issue here by just responding Kirishima is now you don't have your foundation reset.
You don't have a potential to fish for more blocks because obviously we didn't have the right zone.
That's why like EXing this one would have been so good, right? Because it forces him to either You're So Obvious and make a bad block, or force the Kirishima on this one right here. Beautiful 5-check on the chop. Actually,
Homage.
if we can just replay this chop, because you can't draw a card for free when you go to 0 in hand now. Your Kirishima man is very, very committed.
Homage protected us. We did get to draw off Homage to go back up to 3. And our only other card draw lets our rival draw a card, which is super scary.
Yeah.
So there is potential, but I'm with you. Picking up Chop again, like all these attacks are great. Picking up any of these are
super
sick.
down to replay Chop and just make you have no cards. Right.
Yes.
So we do have the low block there with the Hardened Frenzy. Have to commit pretty hard for it, but I mean that is the price of blocking Ojiro 2's attacks, right?
And it's not one we can clear with pull no punches. It's not one we can get rid of.
Yeah, it is not a punch, which
bank for later.
Could be a massive play. Now show me the high attack.
I think the last thing on
yep, there it is. There's the Texas.
A high block. He's got to have a high block, right?
He has to.
He's got to have another high block.
He has to, or we have to Chivalrous here in
Texas. We can't even reset anything to printed. Putting it to printed damage kills us.
Yeah.
This is so fast. It's so big. He's doing the math. Reset the speed.
Okay.
Perfect block. Get killed by the next attack.
Yeah. We cannot block 2 more moves. We have 1 card in hand. We're discarding for +4 to the next. We're going to Ojiro to pick up our just like you said. Texas into our back alley that we pick up, and it's going to be a 1,000 million speed.
The writing is on the wall. Wesley scoops it up. Axel Basinger has punched his ticket into top cuts.
Oh wow. The manly showdown, the Earth throwdown, the Punch Planet brawl for all is finally over with Axel clinching out the win, just barely off the backs of surviving Wesley's lethal turns. Wesley not being able to find that final crucial lethal turn, and Axel being able to come back and say, "Hey, last time, buddy, I didn't have it, but this time I've got all 3 zones, brother," and that's all it took.
There you have it. If you hate Kirishima too, you just saw the blueprint to beating him. Dump massive speed on everything.
Yeah, you've just got to overwhelm him with a flurry of attacks. Be more
consistent than him. That recycling attacks, huge. When did Wesley ever get to put together like that long string like we saw Phil Birch have earlier on in the tournament?
He didn't. Axel came out swinging and just literally never stopped, constantly putting the pressure on Wesley, making him block with his attacks, making him destroy his own resources, just taking everything from him and not allowing him to ever find a chance to stabilize to try and aggress back.
And having the better defensive pieces most of the time, right? Having access to high value targeting someone with style might have been deterring Wesley.
Massive, so massive, yeah.
It lets you build a little bit better, feel a bit safer, hold worse block mods, things like that. Like you get the extra extension, even if they're not going to stun into someone with style, you get to ready it. So it's so interesting that like the defensive pieces of Ojiro allowed him to control the tempo. When we think of Kirishima as the defensive deck in that matchup.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Kirishima's character packs a lot of defense, but Axel's stage just packed a lot more defense on its own right. And then Ojiro took care of the offense, right? Ojiro took care of the beating. But man, just exemplary play by both players there. Really excited to see where these guys continue to end up. Hopefully, this means I'm under the impression that was a double win in the game, so I think this means that Axel's going to be making his way into the top cuts, which is very exciting. Got to have some Ojiro 2 love there, and Wesley will definitely be missed there. However, I'm sure we'll have a lot more Kirishima making their way there. But for the time being, let's go check out what Axel is all about.
I was going to say, let's not hear from us. Let's hear from the man himself, the guy who knows better than anyone else. We're going to go grab Axel. We'll be back for the winners interview, and you guys can hear from himself. Hey there, everyone. We are joined by Axel, who has, I believe, punched their tickets to Top Cuts here at the first ever Pro Hero National and the biggest ever in-person event that Universus has ever had. Axel, tell me how it feels to win your winning in.
It feels incredible. This is my first major event, and then to be able to actually get Top Cuts, which I've not managed to achieve in any provisionals or anything that I've competed in before. So for this to be it, man, I am shaking, like heart's still racing.
And you beat the menace of the format, Kirishima 2, to make it in. Tell me, when you saw the pairing, when you saw your rivals playing Kirishima 2, were you worried?
I actually was scared, but not as much worried because I hadn't fought one all day, and I didn't know what the deck was. Like, I didn't know what the menace was. So I was just like, I hear this is bad. Let's see how this goes. I was a little scared, but
awesome.
Man.
Yeah, tell me the choice to play Ojiro 2. Give me the backbone. What made you settle on Ojiro and the Earth symbol?
Sure. I've always been a major Earth player. I did it across actually other franchises like Final Fantasy.
Okay.
And then so that's, okay, I see Earth in UFS. Let's go try that. So I've been playing since Yu Yu Hakusho, and I just gravitated towards it. It felt good. It was big, chunky attacks, interesting effects. I love flipping your board. I stayed on Earth for 3 years. Finally get to my hero. I'm like, okay, my Ojiro feels pretty good because I used to play Byakko, who did a lot of flips, so he had Ojiro 1, flip a foundation, plus 3 damage, flip and play block. So I played that for a year, really fine-tuned that, thought I had it in a good place where I would bring that here. Then like, hey, set 3 dropped, here's Ojiro. I honestly kind of saw him, was like, I don't think he's going to be that good compared to 1, who I'm sweet on after a year. Play it in draft, blow everyone out, win it, take it to our little, very local, very small store shop, provisional, win it there. And I'm just like, I think I'm in love. I think I just replaced Ojiro 2 with Ojiro 1 with Ojiro 2.
That's awesome. Tell me about Student of the Art, because that has to be the most important Ojiro 2 foundation, right?
It absolutely is. If I don't see that, it's a really hard game. You really are depending on just luck. Did you draw all 3? So that is a make it or break it foundation.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw you had opened with double, and then you got to basically survive that first season the advantage. I want to take us back to that final game though. Was there ever a point where you just knew you had the win, where you were just confident, you just opened your hand before you play any cards, you just know that you have this?
In the last turn, the very last turn, when I saw that I had the zones, I knew I had it. I think I might have gotten it the turn before had I Texas Smashed instead and then followed up with the Hardened Barrage. But I thought, oh, that's greedy. If this fails, I am probably dead to him. If I just play safe, go one more turn, I've got enough health to survive, and I think that was the play.
Yeah, and it turned out to absolutely be the play. One more question I have for you about the deck specifically. You know, we saw that you had a lot of really good core defensive foundations, and Ojiro, unlike Kirishima, doesn't have like a defensive ability. How much of a priority of it was for you to put defensive cards into your deck?
It was a massive priority. I've played a lot of games where you play high octane, just all offense, and if you don't see the pieces, every aggressive deck will just run you over if they just get their pieces first. And having to hit all 3 zones, and if I don't see a Student of the Art, that might just be a dead game. So finding stuff like learning the standards was really big.
Okay. So you are a sponsored pro hero with Legendary Wolf Games. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they have you guys pick out like 3 symbols to represent yourself, just like characters in the games. Do you have like a 3-symbol spread that is your favorite?
It's got to be Earth and Death, and then the third one I've always been kind of back and forth on, maybe All.
Okay. Is it going to be All Earth and Water next year?
No.
Okay.
I kind of wish Ojiro had fire right now.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me. If he had fire, oh my goodness.
Keep me fire, keep me Earth, keep me All. So but water looks good too.
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again on winning your winning in. It'll be really excited to see you tomorrow, and good luck with the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
We're gonna take a very quick break. We'll bring you guys back with some results in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.